If so, just tell me in the comment because I haven't done this for a long time. So I just want to make sure that you can hear me. I hope it's working. I haven't heard any, I haven't seen any comment yet. Yes. Okay. So that's good. So today we have one, two, three, four. We have roughly 10 questions to answer. And then after the 10 questions, I'm going to review five Instagram accounts. So after the questions, I will tell you to actually drop your Instagram account in the comment section so I can look at your Instagram account together. And then afterwards, I will tell you the open call topic. And this part, it will not be in the replay. So you can ask me questions. You can like get a sense of what kind of things I'm looking for. And yeah, this will give you the advantage of entering the open call because the winner will actually get a one-on-one Zoom call with me for 30 minutes. And so that in that call, I can review your portfolio, I can answer questions or anything you don't want other people to hear. So with that being said, I'm going to start with the questions. So someone asked me, where do fashion illustration illustrators make prints? Website suggestions would be amazing. Um, I think one of the things you guys should do if you are really like have no clue of any connection with any print shops in your own city is to look into print on demand websites such as Printful because I use it. I find that the quality is good, and that's where I print my online store products. But if you have connections, if you know any good print shops in your city, you should actually go talk to them because that is the best way to do it because they might be able to print one off for you, and then they might be able to do the shipping for you as well. So if you can go look into your local print shops, if not, look into print on demand such as Printful, or I think Vistech does that. Vistaprint does that too. So you can look into that. Francesco, how are you? So good to see you here with me. So that's I hope that answered your question. And the second question is, how can I make my work be seen to bigger fashion brands? This is basically the marketing thing you need to do. I will say start searching into the brand account or start looking at other people's Instagram posts and see who they tag. If you are looking into, let's say, I want to be seen by Gucci, the people working at Gucci, then you will go to see those Instagram posts and see what accounts those people tag. Because sometimes the designers might not see your work, but the people that working in the PR department or the marketing department may see your work, and there's a chance that they will contact you or they will start to like follow you and look at your works. And once there is like a good project that will fit whatever they're promoting, they may ask you and see if you want to collaborate with them. So that's something that you should do. Also, if you want to, you can also look into LinkedIn and look for those people who work at the particular brand. So let's go back to Gucci. If you see like you want to have your works to be seen by people working in Gucci, just go into LinkedIn, look at those people working there, and see if they have Instagram account and maybe tag them or even DM them if you want to. The best the best advice is you got to be shameless. You got to do all the work. No one else can do it for you. So I hope that works. So this another question is brands need do brands need illustrators or designers with illustration skills? Um, Not too sure what that means because Illustrators are actually important in the department, in the brands department, because some illustrators are actually creating prints for the clothing. So there is a department there, and sometimes they have to have illustrator to do lookbook images as well. So that's something that you should consider looking for. If you're looking for jobs like that, you can look into the brands and see if they're hiring any illustrators. I know one of my Patreon members actually got hired by Prada 1 year ago, and he actually create illustrations for the brand. So there is actually jobs there. So you just have to look harder. Um, and let me see, need illustrators and designers with. I think that's pretty much what I can answer for this question because I don't know how deep you want me to answer. If you were here, then you can write down your like write a comment there, and I can elaborate that question as well. So what are the best hashtags to use beside brand names or event? Hashtag fashion illustration is the good one, but again, there are just a lot of people using it. Illustration depends on what kind of medium you're using. You can hashtag that as well. If your art is abstract, portrait, try to use those hashtag as well. Um, I find it's really interesting to actually hashtag yourself as well because at one point people might start to repost your Instagrams and they might use your name as a hashtag. So if that's the case, when people click on your hashtag, then they will see all the works you have created. So in in a more branding wise, you should start to create your own hashtag. Just like me, I use draw dot as a hashtag, and look at how many people tag draw dot with that hashtag right now. Um, but one thing I will tell you, I if you have already seen that Instagram stories I post during Fashion Week, the hashtag actually won't really activate until your post has enough save or comments. I think the algorithm has changed again. It used to be once you have 30 save, then the hashtag will automatically start to activate. How it works is when you go on the particular hashtag, you will see the top post, and that your post will usually be up there somewhere. But right now, I find that the algorithm has changed. My post has become like a slow burn post. So when I post it right away, I won't get a lot of likes, but it slowly build up. And I can see I actually have more people save the post than before. And sometimes I will be going like I might have a post for 4 days, and suddenly from 20 saved to over 100 saved. Not sure how that works, but I will say use you only rely on the hashtag after your post has gained enough saves. So if you are in this community, like for my Patreon, I always remind my artists like if we post, make sure that we like and save to actually get everyone to be on the same page. So there's a chance for everyone's photo post to be viral. So if you want to do that, you can start your own little group, and then so I know some artists actually do that, have their own little pod, like a DM group. And then when they have new posts, they just post there and people will start to like and then save. That's how people actually do back in the days, like with the influencers, with the bloggers, they actually will send a post up there, and then everyone in the group will start to like and save and comment. But I really don't know how this works now. But for me, I know the latest Instagram algorithm is it's a slow burn. You post it, you might not expect a lot of likes, but then overnight, you suddenly will have a lot of save. And of course, speaking of Instagram, make sure you make good use of real videos and Instagram stories. IGTV, I heard they're getting rid of that app, so I don't think that will be a big thing anymore. And obviously, they are going for the metaverse as well. So keep an eye on thinking how you can incorporate NFT, metaverse into your account in the future. Um, this one is good. How does one pitch to potential fashion clients without sounding desperate? This is a tough question. All I can say is when you actually pitch to brand, you will not say I need work right away because usually if that's the case, they will not want to work with you. My suggestion is you need to look for the right people to pitch, um, marketing department, PR department, and then after that, you can show them you do a really nice portfolio. Maybe you have a website link or you have a really nice small size PDF file, no more than 10 pages. I'm telling you, if you have 10 pages, for example, if you pitch me, if you have more than 10 pages, I'm not going to read it. And then make sure that you have your best works. You are not showing all your works to the people. And of course, everyone wants to work with the brand headquarters. But my tip for you is work with your local stores. If you really want to work with Gucci, Prada, Chanel, Dior, see if they are hiring any illustrators for live events. Those are the ways to actually start to get into the brand. Like you can actually jump. I mean, there is a chance you can do that, but it's really slim. So my suggestion is start with small, your local stores, and then start to go up. Because at one point, the regional marketing director might say, "Oh, I really like your work. I think I should pitch your name to the headquarters for some special events." So then you might be able to work in headquarters for some jobs. Um, but in a way, you cannot be desperate. You basically just have to be patient. You send it, and then maybe once in a while you remind them, "Hey, just want to see if there's any jobs coming up," but only to your local stores. Headquarters, they have their own plan. They have to see if your style actually fits the current campaign. So there is nothing you can do, and I do not recommend you to just sit there and wait for the headquarters to contact you. Um, is there a medium or technique that favors fashion illustration above others? My answer is no. Brands really look into your style. They are not really looking at what kind of medium you use. Maybe in live events, there could be something different. There might be people wanting, like the stores may say, I really want digital illustration. But so far from my experience, it's half and half. Um, Especially when you're doing activation events like drawing handbags, drawing on postcards, or decorating boxes. Those need hand illustration. But then when you say, I want to sketch the guest, then you will use digital illustration because people can then share on social media. And then when it comes to editorial, I think it's like half and half as well. It really depends on your skills, how comfortable with your style, your skills. Like, do you like to use watercolor to draw, or do you actually like to use tablet to draw? I have never heard any magazines or other like brands saying that, oh, you must use digital illustration to complete this image for my article. So far, that's not what I'm seeing. So I would say if you're comfortable with just doing watercolor pastel, then stick with it. And if you like to use tablet, then go for it. But it's always good to equip both techniques because that's going to help you with a lot of events in the future. Tips for getting in Fashion Week. Uh, you need connections. First of all, you need to talk to the PR people. And if the Fashion Week has a PR, talk to them, get a media pass. That's the best way to do. If you're part of my patron group, you can talk to me because I can talk to them and then give in exchange, I can do something with them as well for Instagram. So if you in the Patreon group, talk to me and I can come up with a plan uh, for you. But if you are not, then your best bet is just talk to the designers or find a PR contact. You expect them not to reply you, so don't get disappointed when you send three emails, like one email and then follow up, and no reply. Because there's a chance that your email is in the spam folder. That happened to me a few times. So in this case, all saying that is do your research, uh, and if they can let you buy a media pass, buy a media pass. Sometimes I know that I have illustrators actually decide to go to the photography pit, so where the photographers are, you might actually get the best view there. And if you want to talk to photographers. Okay, so this is another trick. So if you actually get in the photography pit, usually those photographers will have to upload the photos right away. And in this case, try to make friends with the photographers and see if they can give you a few photos so that you can sketch right after the show. Because if you the other thing you can do is like use your camera to sketch and take photos at the same time in the runway, but you just won't have the time to do it. So the best thing to do is to actually talk to photographers and see if they can work with you on some kind of like collaboration together. So that I hope that answered your question. Okay, this question is Menace here. So this is your question. Is a website portfolio make a huge or small difference? That really depends on what you want to include in the website. So if you have a lot of different styles and if you have done a lot of different events, let's just say you can decorate fragrance bottles, you can do lettering, you can draw on bags, you can do editorial illustrations. I would say a website will be really good because you can divide it into different sections and then in each section show your best works. But if you only have one style, just say, oh, I only do abstract works and I don't do other like live sketch events or like anything customizing your handbag, then the Instagram account is pretty good for now. Because I know that if you need to create a website, you might need to pay for a server and then you might want to pay someone to create a website for you. So to minimize that cost, Instagram account is good for now if you have only one style and you only have one thing you want to show. But if you want to show more things, it's better to have a website because you want the brands or companies to look into your website and see what kind of works you can do or what kind of skills you have. So that is what I'm going to tell you. And the last question here, if you guys have any questions, you can post it in the comment too because I can answer more questions. Um, I actually also have another social media account where I also post my other works. Um, I know you have Twitter. You actually have two Twitter accounts as well. So I would say actually try to combine them together if they are similar to what you're doing. Because a lot of times companies may not go for may not check all your accounts or they might not be able to find your accounts. And for example, they like your style, but then they want something different. You might be able to like use your main account to post that as well. Not saying that you should post everything you create. It's always post your best works. So yes, if this is the case, have a website to divide your styles will be the best. But if not, I mean, you can also use those free websites to actually start a simple website as well, just to have intro, your past experience, your portfolio, and contact. Main reason is a lot of people use that to to tell people who they are. And sometimes I don't think you need to like tell people who you are until you feel like there's a need, or they will actually contact you. They will contact you it's like, can you tell me more about yourself? And can you tell me if you can do this kind of style? That's usually the emails I got most of the time. Anyway, yes, as I said, if you have any questions, leave a comment. I will answer. Um, so let me answer this last question first. Does fashion illustration in realistic style get more success? That really depends on what kind of magazines you were targeting or brands you're targeting. So far with my job as an agent, I get most editorials in abstract or illustration form, but not realistic style. If you really want to look into realistic, okay, so there's a thing that I'm going to tell you. If they're looking for realistic style, that means that they cannot find photos that can actually that can actually represent the article. So if you're actually doing realistic style, you are basically looking at a photograph. And when it comes to that, I will always ask, then why would I want to pay someone that mimic a photo with the illustration? I already bought that photo. Why don't I just put it in the article? But unless there is something like a portrait. So if you do a portrait, then yes, then there will be a need for doing realistic style. But you need to see what kind of magazines. If you actually look into GQ, if you look in Vogue, sometimes they're not even looking for that kind of realistic style. They want, interesting enough, they're actually looking for those simple line work with some like had if the hash shadow. It's like the old style illustrations. So if you're asking for realistic, I think it really depends on what magazines you pitching, because I don't really see a lot of those jobs coming in for me. Um, Sasko, yes, Behance is another really good thing to have because I actually so let me tell you something. When I first started Draw Dot, I actually went to Behance every single day to actually look for fashion illustrators. The best part about Behance is you can just like fashion illustrations and there will be a bunch of projects showing up there. I enjoy the projects there. But because right now with Instagram is easier for me to look for fashion illustrations, and because there are more people tagging me, so I don't really have to go to Behance every day to look for projects. But yes, if you're gonna put on Behance, make sure that you show your best projects. I'm pretty sure when I first featured Ignacy, the guy who actually did the campaign for Gucci, he started with Behance. That's how I discovered him. And it's so funny because I searched Google image, I searched fashion illustrations, his images showed up back then. So I think the Behance SEO is really, really good. So if you want more people to notice you, definitely use Behance. Why not? There's nothing to lose. I think it's free. I think it's free of charge to actually open the Behance account and upload your projects. So here's another question. Do you think Behance is still relevant? Oh, okay. So I just answered that. Open it. Any other questions you guys have before I start talking about Instagram? No one has any questions? So, okay, I'm going to start reviewing Instagram account. I have run right now just because that's the artist who suggests this idea. And for you guys, I would say if you want me to review your Instagram account, leave your Instagram handle here and I will review it and tell you how I think about this account, what you can improve. Wait, mean, just say, I also learned that if you want to work with brands magazines, you have to get the job by yourself. So, what is your advice on how to do started email send my ever? Uh, do your research. Basically, go to LinkedIn, look at the people, look at the editors. I find that usually are the editors who actually approach illustrators, not the art directors. They already have other things to do. So for those freelance editors, they have to find an illustration that work with the article. So you can start to be friends with those people, and that is probably the best way to um, get get your job. Another way is, of course, advertise yourself on Behance, and also like advertise yourself on LinkedIn as well, because LinkedIn is actually important to actually connect with people on in the industry. So if you really have nothing to do, if you're thinking that, oh, I really want to get productive, go on LinkedIn, search for a magazine, and then see who works there. And then maybe from there, you can actually look, you might be able to find them on Instagram and start to follow them and maybe start a conversation there. So let's see. Oh, everyone's here. Hi. um, I think I answered most of the questions already. And okay, I am going to look into the Instagram account right now. So the first one is Gina, GSN underscore illustrations. She's the one who asked me to do this kind of thing. So I will look into her account. Um, I mean, you guys can see it if you, I don't know if you can see the account. So I'm scrolling. To me, this account is a lookbook account. It is actually nothing really like special when it comes to an Instagram account. All I see is a look as a it's a still post with nothing else. Um there's no storytelling element. Um do magazines will the magazines actually hire you to do things? I don't really think there is a chance, just because I also see that a lot of people are having this kind of style. So, one tip for you guys is if you go to do the hashtag fashion illustration, you got to be honest to yourself. Look at the pool of illustrations and think about and see which one stands out. Because the illustration stands out to you are probably the illustrations that are stand out to the companies as well. So when I look at this is not new. I have seen a lot of illustrations like this before. So my suggestion is for you to think about how to make the is the composition, and also how you can develop a more unique style for yourself. It's the style that can actually get you the job. So that's one account. Cassie, I just saw you leaving a message. If you have any question, again, if you guys have any questions, make sure that you leave a comment here. So the next one is it by Fiona? Let me just look into that right now, and we can all look into it. And if you have any comments, you can actually post it as well. So here is the account. Okay, so when I look at your account, there are actually two things I'm looking at. One is portrait, and one is fashion illustration. But your fashion illustration again is like a normal runway illustration. Um, the kind of style with just one eyelash. It's really popular in the industry. So this is not something that will get you the job right away unless you have the connection. what I would suggest is think about how you can create how to decorate your face. Like, can you change the face a little bit? Can you add maybe eyes? Um, and there is really no point for copying the photos because, again, if I'm Vogue, there's no point for me to hire you to do this kind of illustration because I already have a bunch of photos on on runway photos. So you will have to think about how you can make it more creative. If you just decided to do, oh, I want to do fashion, like I want to do runway illustration, how can you make the backdrop or how can you design a new face for your characters? Uh and I really like your portrait. So you can also think about how you can incorporate that portrait style into your fashion illustrations. Like I think this is actually really cool. But you just have to figure out how to make it more interesting. And I hope that helps. Do you have any questions you want to ask me about this? Nope. If not, then I'm going Anara. So Anara is the next account that I'm going to check. So this is another account. So I'm just looking at this. You do have a few styles here. There is like really cute version of a girl, and there's also the realistic one. Um, I personally think that if you are planning to get jobs, you can stick to the cute versions because you might be able to get jobs for creating illustrations for kids book, children's book. Uh And then I think there are a lot of things going on, which I can't really figure out your style yet. So you need to define which style you really want to be the main thing for people to see. It's okay if you can have a few styles, but then you always have one that you should dominate your account so that people know that, oh yeah, when I'm gonna hire you, I want to actually have this kind of style in the illustration. So I th- like personally, I think this is really cute. Like this Jessica Chastain one is actually really cute. The face is really cute, but when it, and then and then there is something like that is more realistic, which I'm starting to say, okay, I don't think I want to do that. Um, I think I will want to stick to the cute version for now and see if you're comfortable with the style. And you also, I know you also like to draw shoes. If that's the case, shoes and bags, make something really interesting. Um, or maybe I think this is actually really, really cool because you can actually draw shoes or bags and create memes. People love memes. People, if you're on Instagram, people love to look at brainless stuff. Like they don't need to think; they just want to have a good laugh. So think about creating some shoes illustrations with some really interesting message, and people might actually want to share with their followers. So that is something that you can do, and I'm pretty sure that eventually brands will want to make memes too. So there is a good chance that there is a market for you guys. So think about that. And okay, so there is I will do two more. Andrea. So let me go to Andrea's account right now. Yes, I dig this account. I actually like this account. I will tell you why. It's here is the account. So what I like is the body. The body is not. it's not like real life proportional. It's her characters are longer. It's actually really colorful. There is a story behind each illustration. I think this actually got me like I really fall in love with this Victor Roth illustration because it's just so pretty and they it she really captures the mood of that runway show and the collection idea. So um, when you do illustration, another tip is to actually read the show notes or the review of the collection on Vogue or some other magazine, so you know what's going on with the collection. You know exactly what to draw. Um, I mean, I think your characters are really cool. I think you should just keep developing it and show more to the world. Consistency, of course. If you can continue to upload maybe one illustration every week or 2 weeks, that will help the Instagram algorithm as well. Um, I think the only thing that I want to say before, but now you already change it, is to try to just show the illustration, not do a lot of like set like stage illustration. Like a lot of people love to have like candles, pencils, all of those things in one photo. Um, when I look at those, I would just say, "Cool, you are good at staging the photo," and I totally will forget to actually look at your illustration. So now it's good that you actually just show the details and the illustration. And I really think that you should continue to do it. And even though I have seen a lot of people doing the big eyelashes like this, I think you can continue to develop it and see how you can make it your own because um truth to be told, one time I post someone who did some kind of eyelashes like this, and someone claimed that they are the original. So I really don't want you to get in trouble because um this community is really small, and then I don't really don't like people fighting. But you can think about how you can create something different with your eyelashes. So I hope that helps. And then I'm going for the last one, the Charlotte. Just give me 1 second. Charlotte. Yes. Waiting for load. Yep. This is the account. I hope I'm right. Yep. So I'm looking at this. So it's the same. If I'm going to the fashion illustration hashtag, if I look at the works, I probably won't choose your work right away because I have seen this style a lot. Um, this is where I think you need to think about how to create the illustration more interesting. Um, one of the most popular style is face without facial features. And I think every day will see at least 100 illustrations like this with that hashtag, with the fashion illustration hashtag. So this is one something that you need to avoid. Or if you really not, if you say I really don't like to draw facial features, think about creating a mask. Like Magella usually have like a mask with like sometimes with crystals, sometimes with just like dark, or Balenciaga right now with just like a black hood with like no with maybe two eyes. You can do that to actually make your illustration pop out if you're just doing one runway illustration. Or you can actually create your own character. Like you can create an alien face and then just do it to create like every time you just use that hat, maybe change the color a bit or maybe like add something to make it special if you plan to continue to do runway illustration. But aside from that, if you ask me if I look at this account, will if I'm an editor, will I be hiring you for a job unless I have a really good connection with you? The chance is actually pretty slim. So I will say think about what kind of work you would want to like create. Like first of all, you need to think about what kind of jobs you want to get if you want to work for a magazine. What kind of illustration you want to produce? Do you want to just focus on the article illustration like in a big article there will be some illustration you need to create or you want to create portraits. So when there's an article featuring the artists, the designers, they sometimes might want to commission an artist to do those portraits. Um, but when it comes to runway illustrations, again, there is no need for me to hire an illustrator to create an illustration that I can use the photos on the magazine. So this is something that you need to uh, think about. Like after this live, you should think about, oh, what I'm supposed to do. Like what else? Like what do I really want to do? Um, and especially if you have an online store in the future, why would I want to buy a regular runway illustration? Because there's actually really nothing unless your color combination is really good, unless your composition is really good, then I will consider to hang it in my house. But aside from that, you need to think about the purpose. When you draw, aside of drawing what you love, you need to think about how your illustrators will react because that can turn into potential jobs. Your followers can technically commission you for private portraits or private works. And if you are not showing your best work and if you are not really showing what you can do, people will be like, "Eh, I can look for another artist to do it." So I hope that answered your question. I have one more illustration account to actually talk about. Um, Atlanta. I think Atlanta's here because I just got her DM. So this is the last account I'm going to talk about. So this account, I like the style. Um, I think it's really, really cool that I feel like every single illustration is not complete. I love the brush strokes, and then because of the brush strokes, you will start to figure out how to complete the picture. For example, let's just say here, I think, look at this illustration. I don't feel like it's complete, but then at the same time, it gives you use your brain to complete the illustration. Um, I really like the style. There is this impressionism style involved, but she makes it modern. So if you look at it, you'll be like, oh, there's just so many things. And her Instagram is a solid portfolio because her style is really consistent. She might try different styles once a while, but then in general, you know exactly what you're gonna get if someone's gonna commission her to do a piece of artwork. So this is one of the portfolios I will recommend you guys to actually check to get inspired. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. the I hope this comments help. Like, okay, I'm not gonna read the comments right now. I end up always overthinking. Yes, do not overthink. Draw what. One of the things that I would suggest for you guys, everyone listening here, is to draw 20 minutes every day. That's basically what every artist told me in all the interviews. Draw 20 minutes every day and see what works, and then slowly see how your style evolve because at one point you will start to see, oh, I really like this kind of style, I'm going to explore more. And I remember I also did an interview with an artist. The artist said, you know what, if you are new or if you're stuck, you can actually look into different artists and get inspired by their works. And maybe you can say, oh, I really like this kind of brushstrokes and see how I can incorporate that into your drawing without copying directly from that artist. So that's something that you guys should do aside from just keep drawing and drawing. Always push yourself out of that comfort zone, because once you're in that comfort zone, which I realize that a lot of artists do that, I start to see the spark just goes from here to here, because they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to push out my content. Don't do it for Instagram, do it for yourself. Do it and imagine you have a client in mind. Every time when you do an illustration, think about, okay, this is my client. What does this client want? If I really like this fashion illustration, how can I make it fun? How can I attract people's attention? And if this illustration is on magazine, how will people react? And because you guys use Instagrams, it's really important to make good use of Instagram stories. What I see in this community is, as I said before, it's tend to be really quiet. And what you guys need to do is post more stories, ask more questions, get your Instagram followers interaction. So when they engage, you know exactly what they're looking for and how their input can benefit your illustrations. Those are your potential customers. As I keep mentioning that those are the potential customers, or they might be potential brands are looking at your accounts right now. So if you actually take their input, you incorporate that into your styles, that will be that will be the best thing you can do with your account. And I see another thing that is happening is a lot of people actually go for the same outfit when it comes to collection. Um, which is one of the tips for the open call. I will say this before I go for the open call topic. Um, if you're going to draw the most popular outfit from the collection, make sure you have that edge. Make sure you actually have something different for people to see. If you decide to create that illustration with that particular outfit, but you just gave me a runway illustration, you know that your chance of getting picked is close to zero, because I can tell you that some other people are doing better than you. And at the same time, because I know this is, for example, if this is a popular um, illustration, outfit, I have expectations. So I will say try to stay away from the most popular piece unless you have a really good idea. Um, it, any community you would recommend? Community. See, this is the problem. Aside from Drawdot, which I'm doing this community, I don't see a lot of fashion illustration community that are really like helping artists to grow. Um, I think I think the only thing you guys can do is to have, let's just say if you're doing watercolor, look into like different artists and see if there's like a watercolor group or like a pastel group or any group. I mean, you can also start a clubhouse to create a community there, but I know a lot of you guys might not want to talk, so that might not work as well. So I will say um, there is actually no officially group that will help you to like grow. Um, and it might be better if you think about like maybe you can come up with some ideas like how can I create your own digital illustration group or a watercolor group, and maybe you guys can have your own workshop or having like close communication every month. And I hope that works. So now is the time that I will cut this video. If you're watching this replay, this is the end.